So we can put the marquee tool in the UI layer and the rest in the rest. We'll call that the main layer by habit. So one of the problems should be resolved now. We can go over. I will maybe I can set that to additive. How does it look with additive? It looks crap. Okay. The thing that is bothering me is that when you go over the sprite and you switch to selected mode, is that its color is dull because of the blue semi-opaque on top. I wanted to have something that is a bit more shiny. For now, that will do. So the second issue was disappearing. So there's many ways to go about it. We could create the marquee tool and click and destroy it when we stop holding the mouse down. We could just toggle the visibility. The advantage of creation destruction is that we won't trigger this condition once we are not using the marquee tool, since it will be destroyed. But creation destruction is slightly more consuming. Garbage collection tends to when you destroy and create stuff a lot, you piling up some stuff in the what is called the garbage collection in JavaScript. It tends to when JavaScript go through the garbage collection and throw out the unreferenced objects in memory, it tends to slow down the game. At the same time, I think C2 has a recycling process where you can get back the object you destroy before, if it's the same type of object. I will do something else. I think I will just throw the object on the side. Better of both worlds. So if the mouse is not down, I will set the size to 0, 0 and set the position to 0, 0 as well. So here and disappear. It goes right there. So no problem. So we have our marquee tools. Now what we want is to do selection and be able to do. Basically, we want that to be able to select some part, some objects, and move them. Okay. So selection. I tend to separate visual clue, visual feedback, to underlying process. Why? Because this way you can change the visual feedback without having to change the underlying process. It may sound a bit too theoretical, but in short, I will create a boolean that will hold the state selected or not. Instead of using animation from, I will use the boolean to set the animation from, or something else. Maybe it could be an animation or a change of size. So this way I kind of offset the problem. We have the underlying structure that won't change. It will be a boolean that sets the state, selected or not selected, and how we show it. We can, for instance, create another sprite with borders and overlay that sprite on top of this sprite. I don't know. I don't care. The underlying process will work the same. So for now I will keep this feedback, and maybe if we have time I will change it to something else, I don't know. So okay, it will resemble the same kind of action of events, but with the sprite is selected, true here and false here. Okay, and now we can do something like sprite boolean selected isn't selected, and we'll have the same result. Okay, but now what we want is, okay, if you do that on construct and release the click, the bugs are selected when the click is released. Okay, so I prefer showing that you are selecting the object during the process, and when you release the button the object are selected definitely. So I will need another variable called temp selected. It will show the I don't know. No, I think this one is enough, but it will look like that. While you are holding down the button, the sprite by default are false, and if there's an overlap they switch to true, and if the mouse is down, and that's all, that should be enough. Selected and selected, selected and selected, selected, I release, they stay selected. So that's working great. Okay, I will start to split the event sheet so we keep things tidy, nice and organized. Marquee tool here, and nope, and selection. These go to selection. Marquee tool. That's the how the marquee tool works. This part is in marquee tool. This part is what happened with the marquee tool, the selection, and this part is the visual feedback. Okay, so now we can basically select, and if you click anywhere it will drop the selection by the fact that when the button is done by default the sprite aren't selected, so it's good. But I think at some point it will hinder the drag and drop. Let's code the drag and drop and we'll see how it works. Drag and drop. I could use, but not. There's a behavior drag and drop here. The problem is the drag and drop behavior will handle what we'll see shortly, the offset to the mouse position. When you drag and drop an object, the position of the object is here, the origin is here, but when you click here you can drop the object and the object won't snap to the mouse. You will keep the offset between the origin of the object and the mouse. It will stay the same always. And the drag and drop handles this situation. You'll see But when you select a group of objects and you want to move all these objects together, you will need to somehow handle all the offset of all the objects. And with the drag and drop behavior, you can't do that. So we won't use that. We will do a drag and drop by ourselves, and it's not that hard anyway. So on click, that's the start of the drag and drop. It's the Marquee tool is a kind of drag and drop, so it will look almost the same. We'll have these two other situations. Okay, when you click on an object, you want to keep the offset to the mouse. And when you will click on an object, it will switch automatically to selected. Let's say you didn't select any object, you will click on an object, it will select it automatically. So we'll switch the selected object. I have the wrong one. And click on sprite. It will switch the selected to true. And then when we'll have to okay, I will start with a simple drag and drop, and we'll add the group system on it afterward. So what happens when you do a drag and drop? You have to store the offset to the mouse. So you have to have variables for that. Each time you think the word store or memorize or keep, it's 99% it involves variables or array or dictionary, something that holds information. So sprite set value x offset to, that's when I have to think, is it mouse minus the position of our position minus mouse. Let's see, if the mouse is in position greater than the position of the object, the offset should be positive. So it will be mouse.x minus self.x, and then y offset will be y. If you wonder about formula, you try to find some cases, some situation where you know the result. It helps to find the formula. Okay, so I keep the offset. On the moment I click on the sprite, I will set it to selected and keep the offset. The problem with the selected is that when you are not dragging the object, the selected can stay true. But when you are not dragging the object, you don't want the object to follow you. But the selected is okay. I think it can work like that. It's a bit different. Usually I have a dragging boolean, and I set something like if dragging is true, follow the mouse, and on left mouse button not down, I set dragging to false. But there, when I release the mouse, I don't want to lose my selection, so I can't use the same exactly the same thing. I will use is boolean selected, left mouse button is down. If the sprite is selected, follow the mouse. So set position to mouse.x plus self.x offset minus Okay. I will invert that because, in fact, if the mouse is here, the offset should be negative to